Hello YouTube, it's Rob, Maxwell's Grass Cutting Services, based in the northeast of England. I hope everybody's well, having a great day. I've just come and sat in the van because the heavens have opened and it's too bad to mow in. So fingers crossed it won't last too long and I'll get the mower back out of the back of the van and we'll crack on. Otherwise it's going to be a long day. I want to share a story with you. And this story is when I first started. And I'm sure every gardener watching this has come across the same situation. And it changed the way I do business. And as you can see from the title, it's don't work for friends or family. Well, that's not strictly true. You know, if your mother lives around the corner and she's elderly, you're going to cut her grass for free, aren't you? I don't mean that. But what I mean is friends and family, or distant family or friends, can be a nightmare. And I'll tell you what happened to me. I was out on a Friday night having a few beers, and we're a couple of pals, and a friend of a friend, he came up and says, "Robbie, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm all right." He says, "How's the business going? I heard you're doing the gardening now." I said, yeah. He says, "Oh," he said, "I've got a hedge." I said, "Yeah, I know the hedge you're talking about, the Leylandii hedge." He went, yeah. He says, "I've had somebody come round and they've quoted me 180 quid for the job plus waste." And he says, "Well, lass weren't happy." He says, "It was a bit much. Would you be able to do it?" And sillily, I was just getting started, and and I thought I'd had a few beers, which was silly to talk business in the pub. And I went, yeah, I'll do it for you. And I said, "I won't charge you that, mind." And he went, "Oh, great." And I said, "I'm busy this week. It's probably the following Saturday." He went, "Oh, no bother, just come and crack on. Well, that's will be well pleased." So, the following Saturday, I tips up, van full of gear, dumpy bags, and I looked at the Leylandii hedge and I thought, 180 quid plus waste was probably a fair price. But I was new. I'd committed to it, and so I got cracking. Now, silly me thought he's going to come out and give us a hand, and we'd probably do it together, and and it would get done quicker. That didn't happen. So 4 hours later, I've trimmed the Leylandii. I've took probably about a foot off the top. I've done the sides. And then I starts to tidy up and put it in the dumpy bags. There's probably 6 dumpy bags of waste, and they were full. I've since learned, don't fill your dumpy bags full because it makes them a pain. You're better off having 12 half than 6 full, but that's another story. I loads the van up, rams it all in, and he comes out and says, "Oh, Rob, that's wonderful." And he came out carrying a box of Foster's Lager, what you get from Asda or something like that. And he went, "Robbie, you've done a brilliant job." He says, "It looks lovely. Wallace is over the moon." I said, "Oh, good, I'm pleased." I said, "It was hard work, mind." I said, "It was bigger than I thought." I said, "Next time I'll come and look at the bloody edge before I just commit after a few beers." He went, No, Rob, we really appreciate it." And he gave me the Fosters. And there was an awkward silence. And I thought, he's bound to say, "How much do you want? How much do we owe you?" But he didn't. So I said, "Can we talk money?" And he went, "Money?" I said, "Yeah, for the job." He went, "Oh, I thought you said you weren't going to charge us." I says, "Sorry?" He said, "Well, when we were out, you said, I told you that the guy had quoted 180 quid plus the waste. And you said you wouldn't charge us." I said, "No," I said, "I wouldn't charge you that." He said, "Oh, I told Wallace Rob was coming to do it as a favour, you know." And I said, "Look," I said, "No," I says, "I've been here now nearly all day." I said, "It's too late. The tip's now closed." I said, "I'll have to go on Monday morning from my house back down to the tip, which is a half an hour drive, get it tipped, which cost me money." And I said, "And I've been here nearly all day." I said, "The guy who quoted you 180 quid plus waste is probably a fair price." I said, but I won't charge you that. I said, look, I said, it's going to cost me to go and get rid of the waste. I said, why don't we just call it 100 quid? And he went, 100 quid? He said, oh, well, lass won't be happy. I was fucking fuming. So I'm stood there like a tin of milk, holding this box of Fosters, you know. So I just put the Fosters down and I went, don't worry about it. Got in the van and I drove home. And I was raging with myself, because it's my fault, I get that. And Monday morning, I'm still raging. And I drove down to the tip, and they charge you 20 quid for a van this size to get rid of green waste. It's a private company, they turn the waste into mulch, and they do it's a good service, but it's a bit of a pain to get to from my house. So I'm a day's work down, I'm 20 quid for me tip fees down, me fuel, me wear and tear on the van. And I thought, he's bound to ring us and say, you know, when they get to work on Monday morning, he'll tell the story, and somebody will say, well, how? He's worked all day, and somebody else quoted 180 quid plus waste. Now, you know, 100 quid's, has he done a good job? Oh, he's done a good job. Well, 100 quid seems like no to me. But he didn't. And I saw him about 6 months later, and he just, you know, he gave me a body swerve. And I thought, how do I deal with this? And I'll tell you how I dealt with it. In my mind, I thought this has been a steep learning curve. And I've learned so many lessons. It hasn't cost me any money. It cost me 20 quid and a bit of fuel. But it's cost me time. But what I learned is, don't quote from memory. Go and have a look. Unless it's a small, simple job. Yes, you can do it by photographs. But hedges, I go and have a look every time. And if friends or family ring, I just say, look, I'm really sorry. I'm so busy, I just can't fit you in. And there's a couple have been, well, we'll wait. And I've said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. My policies, I don't work for friends or family. I'm really sorry. And a few people have been pissed off with me. But that had such an effect on us, I thought, I'm not doing it. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't cut my mother's hedge. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying somebody who I'm friendly with down the bar, or somebody who I know, or a neighbour, or I just don't work for them. It just ends in tears. And the people expect something for nothing, which it really winds me up. You know, I've got a mate who's an electrician, and he does all my electrical work, and he comes and he'll say, oh, Robbie, just give us it. I say, no. Charge us a fair price. Don't take my eyes out, but charge us a fair price, because you're working. You know, it's not a charity. You're not working for free. And I always pay him cash, and then whatever he does with it is his business. It's not mine. But he does a good job, and I trust him, and I'd rather pay him than some stranger. But people just think, because you're mates, or you have a beer together now and again, you're going to go and graft all day for free. Would they go to work for free? No, they wouldn't. So, what's my message today? Don't work for friends or family. Don't work for neighbours. And people watching this, don't expect, just because you know somebody who's a gardener or a joiner or whatever, they're going to do mates rates. I don't get mates rates. For me, I've got mates in trades, and mates rates should be give them a fair price. Give them what they deserve, because they're your mates. And don't expect them to work for free. They've got bills to pay, mortgages to pay, kids to feed. Why should they come and spend a day at your house hanging doors for pocket money? They shouldn't. Getting angry now. So, if you're starting out in business, don't work for friends, family, neighbours. Or if you do, set the stall out early. This is what I'm charging. If you're happy with that, great. If you're not, go and get somebody else. Yeah. Let me know in the comments. Have you had your fingers burnt from friends and family and neighbours? Or is it just me who's an idiot? And, you know, has anybody else been through that situation? Can't just be me, surely. But that was it was a tough lesson, but a lesson that had to be learnt. And since then, I think I'm better for it. Yes, cost me a few quid, but you know, nobody died. I've moved on, and I've learnt from it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, when the green gold's growing, keep mowing. We're not mowing today because it's bloody raining, but hopefully it'll ease off and we'll get the mower out. Take care. Please like and subscribe and all that carry on. And I'll see you on the next one, right? You take care. Have a great day.